Welcome, my friends. Welcome to Touching the Edge. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being part of this warrior practice of transformation. It's such a wonderful time right now to find elements and find ways that can support us in becoming who we want to become. And I want to suggest to you that in many ways it's really helpful to have different framings. I think it's kind of tough to just let go infinitely long. When I say infinite, the full expanse of our full life, not exactly knowing what to do, but just trying to keep improving. I want to suggest that it actually supports us when we come up with different framings. And when we come up with framings that lead us in directed ways in finding our success. And I have several different models, and I want to share one of those with you right now. I call it having a tightly thatched roof. Now, when you have this tightly thatched roof, this is your home that we're talking about. And of course, if you're building a home, you want it to be in a wonderful place. And I want to suggest to you that that's about building your home in the midst of community. And that's one of the elements I want to suggest, that we're not isolated. We need to be amongst each other. And these healing circles are about being in that community. Now, secondly, we want to be foundational. We want to make sure that we have a good foundation, and that foundation is in our awareness, our presence. We have to truly be present in order to create our home. And in that presence, we want to be able to go really down deep into the depth. When they have this thermal heating, like when they heat from the earth itself, that's what I'm talking about, is finding energy from the very depth of our being. And that is in our intuition. So when we get truly, truly present, we get in contact with our authentic being, which is intuition in its expression. And so that intuition allows us to step into what we call the very house itself. We want to have 3 rooms in this particular house. And it comes from our intuition. We want to follow our intuitive process to our passion. And so I want to suggest that each of these 3 rooms is based in different elements of passion. One is the passion for passion, the enthusiasm for enthusiasm. We want to find something that we are really connected to, something that you are passionate about throughout your life, maybe even early in your life. Something that you get really excited about when you study and when you do. We want to be aware of those passionate areas and begin to work with those areas, because a lot of times what we can do for the world is going to come through what we're passionate about. Now, the second level of passion I want to talk about is the passion for service. Really being passionate about service, finding ways that you can be a support in your community, finding ways that you can be a support with elders or young people, finding ways that you can be a support in working for justice in the world, finding ways to be support of people in the community who are having a tough time, not just close to you, but at distance. Excuse me. And then finally going, even deeper than that, finding ways to be of service in your relationship to the world itself. Finding a way that you can serve life. And so that creates that next relationship, which is to creativity. I want to suggest that your way of serving life is involved with your passion for your creativity. You're an artist. And if we don't activate a means of getting our art into the world, that art begins to build up and begins to be anxiety. That anxious energy begins to stem up. And so we want to give it access to the world. And so when we do this, when we activate our creativity, that passion for creativity, all of these elements begin to blend into each other. Our passion for creativity almost automatically blends with our passion for what we're passionate about. What we're passionate about automatically comes into what we want to be of service. And so these 3 rooms this energetic flow begins to flow amongst each other, and now all of a sudden we're lifted in the midst of what we're facing. Now we need this protective roof. It's important to have a covering, and I want to suggest that the covering for our home is kindness. That's the tightly thatched roof. We want to make sure that we're stimulating kindness on a regular basis, and recognize that kindness comes from compassion. Your ability to begin to start with yourself. Compassion is a state of being. Kindness is an active state. And so this kindness actually shields us from negativity. And so we want to recognize that our kindness is all important. How we're being in the world, how are we bringing the world together rather than separating it. And that becomes the model. That's our home. Starting from the base in awareness, coming from the depth through intuition, coming through each of the 3 rooms of passion, and shielded with kindness. So this is a suggestion of framing yourself. Put elements of your life and just put that framing, on a piece of paper and connect it to specific areas. And by focusing in these areas and focusing in what you do, you can transform your world. And that transformation is the exact thing that we need. So thank you so much for joining. I'm so grateful for your time. I'm grateful for your process of transformation. I'm going to ring the bell. I'm going to ask you to listen carefully. Here we go. Your presence is miraculous. Make sure you create a home that you can house it in. And by the way, please be aware that these videos are so important in our connection with community. So like them, be part of our community, let other people know about them. I thank you so much for your time. Namaste.